Hello, I'm Bob the Bookerer and welcome to my channel. Um, Happy New Year. We're now in 2023 and I kind of wanted to use this as an opportunity to really think over some of my reading plans for the coming year and sort of reflect a little bit on the reading that has been. Apologies for this terrible lighting. It's this option or slightly more light, but with a light that flickers slightly. So really, maybe my goal for 2023 should just be to have better lighting, which is not the worst goal really in the world. But anyway, 2022, I read a lot of books, which was lovely, and lots of short books as well, which means that the number of how many I read over the year looks artificially inflated because of that. Like you know, but there were lots of books, basically, long story short. And the last couple of years when I've done this, I've sort of said, well, maybe I focused too much on prizes and I read too many prizes, and that is probably still true. But actually that's often where I found so many new and exciting books, or even sometimes just a really exciting author that then got me into another author as a sort of gateway drug, or into another book or whatever else. So actually, I don't know if I necessarily want to stop those. I'm not sure if I can stop those. But I think maybe being a little kinder to myself in how I approach that, because I think a few times I've been like, right, I've got to finish this shortlist now because they're about to announce the winner and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you know what? If it's a week or two later, I think it's fine. It's going to be okay, Bob. And sometimes, as I found this year, my mood and energy levels when it's come to reading have been so variable, where, you know, sometimes it's just been the right book at the exact wrong time, you know, a book I would love, but I just can't get into it at that moment and I have to really pause. And that's a normal part of everything, right? But I think what I'm finding increasingly, and what I'm thinking, I guess, for my future reading for 2023 is that I want to be a little kinder to myself in terms of how I approach it, because, you know, I find that I'm getting a lot of pleasure from reading and I'm enjoying the process greatly, and I've been able to read some incredible books over the year. And, you know, my sort of best of lists, I think, is sort of testament to that to some degree, that there were lots of books I read and adored. I don't think I ever really sat down and said, you know what, I'm really tired. It's either okay to just not read because, you know, you're tired and you need a break, or even, hey, look at this fun, exciting thing you could be reading that feels like a nice, easy read. I've not been very kind to myself in terms of reading, I don't know, like sort of genre fiction or like graphic novels or things like that, that I can always pick up when I'm a bit tired and feel really good about enjoying and having fun with. And I think sometimes I'm like, no, I know you're tired, Bob, but you've got things to do. You've got to read this prize list, and, you know, that's not fair to myself. It's not fair to the books I'm reading, where I'm looking at them and not able to take them in as much as I want to be. So I'm going to try and sort that out. It's going to be an interesting year, because I think I'm already seeing from now in January, filming this in December, that I have got a lot of big things coming that are really exciting and really fun, but it's going to be a busy one. So yeah, exciting, but above all else, reading is meant to be a thing of pleasure. It's a thing I do for joy. It's a thing I do to learn things, to see new perspectives, and I need to not lose sight of that and just have a good time with it. And I hope your 2023 is like that as well. So probably much of the same reading, but just sort of replacing out with a few fun ones. I've had some Terry Pratchett books sat on my shelf for the longest time. That's a perfect kind of book to have running along in the background while I read some sort of prize stuff and all that kind of jazz. And just being a little kinder to myself. But also, just on a side note, I want to say a massive thank you to you all. It's been another year of being on BookTube, and it's just been an absolute joy to be able to share books with you, to be able to talk about them. I often feel that this is a really weirdly narcissistic thing, not only the filming of it and the recording and like being like, hey everybody, here are my opinions, but then also now this moment of me thanking people for that feels very much like, thank you for watching me. But no, honestly, your comments and you know, your comments have been really thoughtful in terms of great new books to check out or different ways of looking at certain books, and I really appreciated that. And I think that is, for me, the best thing about BookTube, is having those chances to talk about books, which is a thing we all love doing, but also to find new ones and actually deepen our conversation. It's a community, all of that kind of fun stuff as well. Anyway, I've been Bob. Here's to a great 2023. I'm going to try and read a little bit more for joy and for pleasure. I'm going to be a little less hard on myself. I probably still will follow about 47 different prizes. And Booker-wise, I'm getting to a point, I think I have just over 100 books left to finish the shortlist of every year ever. And I'll maybe tuck into about half of those this year, we'll see. There's no real hurry, but at least I'm planning on doing all of the numbers leading up to the 2023 Booker. So, you know, right the way back from 1973, which I've already read actually, but from 1973 all the way to 2023 in terms of every 5 years. So every year ending with a 3 or an 8. I made that unnecessarily complicated, but you get what I mean. Anyway, before I ramble more, take care. Thank you all so much and have a wonderful 2023. Bye-bye.